This video is created on March the 21st, 2020, and I did print out a short chart because I wanted to hop on today because it's a very, very special day astrologically. Today we have Mars conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Pluto at 24 degrees. Mars is at 23 degrees, 50 minutes, which is almost 24 degrees. So we have the spiritual, expressive, fiery inspiration of Jupiter, which is our largest planet in our solar system, conjuncting Mars in Capricorn. Mars being the force of will, the ego, the male expression, the active outward energy of building and creating in the world. And in Capricorn, it sits very well. Jupiter does not like Capricorn. Jupiter finds it confining and restrictive and pulling everything too close in together and making it feel housebound, which is what we're all feeling right now, right? The third thing is Pluto. Now, the reason I thought this could actually be a very, very positive day for all of us is because in growth, in internal growth. Pluto's about the subterranean underworld, shadow parts of our own being that are being exposed right now. Our fears, our living in the world of polarity, buying into all the fear. And with Jupiter there, we have a chance to really access our spiritual inner being, the gentle, soft, majestic, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent God force residing within all of life. We have a chance to access that today in new and marvelous ways to overcome the illusion that we are in a state of love or fear. In other words, that instead what we're going to today is the underlying God force behind the material world's polarity, if you can understand that. So it's like we have a chance to go, it's almost as though you're looking at yourself and you go inward and you find within your own being this place of observation of yourself walking in the world, and you're looking at everybody else walking in this world in this strange time of foreboding in the world, in the world that's a stage. But behind it all, there is this inner capacity for us to access a resting in God, an abiding in God. There was a wonderful hymn once, Abide in Thee, and really the way through this abyss right now and the opportunity that we're being given right now in the time of being forced into our homes and silence and quiet and non-socializing physically is the capacity to abide with God. And I would really suggest that you seek out films at this time online that are truly uplifting, films that are really touching on the core of faith. I made a couple of notes here. I really feel that the divine source has given us absolutely everything all the tools, all the capacities to walk through this time. And the real thing that has saved our world over and over again has not been science, although right now we are looking for scientific alternatives or cures or the secret serum that will stop the spreading of this vibrational virus. But instead, it has been charity that has changed our world, the charity in our heart. And if everybody on earth right now were accessing a divine sense of self, they would be in such a, and this is what we're being asked right now, is to move into a different vibrational level of being. If everybody could access that mercy, that charity, that realization that we are not isolated from each other, but actually are piercing the veil to our inner source of power and omniscience that has always been present within us, but which we have allowed to layer with the distraction of the outer world. So as well as our physical bodies, we are dealing with our divine, immortal souls. And so when we're asked to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul and all thy might, if divinity is abiding within all beings and all of life on this earth, the most profound way that we can love God is through loving our fellow man. And through loving our fellow man means developing the merciful heart. The capacity for mercy, not just for those that resonate with us and say the words that cheer us up or uplift us or inspire us, but instead to look upon all beings. And we need to really consider that all of life with the mercy. There was a great story of a man that was seeking to be transformed into sheer consciousness by the Buddha. And every year he would climb up this huge mountain and sit up there for months on end in meditation. And after a certain period of time, come back down and feel like this year I wasn't enlightened, I'll go up again next year. So the next year he went up and he sat and he meditated and he did all the external things to bring him into a state of being, and nothing happened. And he left. And the third year he went up and he sat there and he went through the same procedure, nothing happened. Came back down the hill, and as he came back down the hill, he saw a dog with a tremendous wound on its side. And in the wound on the dog's side were maggots coming out of the wound. And his heart broke open with so much compassion for this dog that he knelt down and he held the dog in his arms and he pulled with his teeth out of the dog's wound all the maggots to help the dog heal. And as he did this, this old mangy dog, as he did this, the dog transformed into the Buddha, and the Buddha reached out his hand and touched his head, and he went into a state of sheer consciousness. And the message, of course, from that was that as we develop the compassionate heart, the capacity for divine mercy, and love others in a way that we hopefully learn to love ourselves, that with that love, with that mercy will come a profound transformation. And what I feel is going on right now is that we are being asked to shift from selfishness, which is the true isolation, and materialism and the war lives of countries in antagonism to each other, and within countries, parties having antagonism toward each other, and within families, members having antagonism and hatred toward each other or resentment. We are being, and within ourselves, the source of it all, being that same chaotic, oppressive battle going on within us. We're literally battling the divine expression of our amazing heart. So what is being asked of us right now is to look and to love our neighbor as ourselves, which includes everyone, includes all beings, all parties, all levels of manifestation of godliness. So nothing is impossible if we don't believe it's impossible, right? And so it's our time right now to show what we are without pretense, just to be absolutely authentic and without fear. Just throw that fear out the window. How can you go and help others and show that divine mercy if you are in a state of fear? You can't. The fear will hold you back. And if life has brought you into some sort of state of feeling persecuted by life, or that life is unfair, instead of looking at it that way, look to your life and make out a list of gratitude for all the beautiful, marvelous, wonderful things that have occurred in your life. Today I gave a reading to a lady who was 36 years old, and a year ago her beloved mate had died of cancer, and she had known him and married him 6.5 years ago. Or no, they've been together 6.5 years. They've been married 6.5 years. And the interesting thing about it was that out of that 6.5 years, for 3.5 years, she had been tending to him with this virulent cancer, and in the last 9 months had literally done the hospice for him until he finally had to go into a hospice at the very, very end because it was too much for her. So he showed up in the reading, and he came forth with so many messages of love for her and such gratitude to her. And he said, don't be fearful, don't be sad, don't be without hope. I'm with you always, always, always abiding with you. Well, divinity is like that for us. And he brought messages to her mother and father. He brought messages to his sister who was there. He brought loving remembrances of their times together. This was the gift of Jupiter spirit, conjunct Pluto, which is often associated with death. This was the gift from Jupiter and Pluto to her today. She was a Scorpio, and this was a great, great celebratory day for her to finally make connection with him after a full year. So we are being asked right now to be strong in the sacrifices that we're asked to make. Be strong. If you truly are a spiritual being, in a physical body. What do we have to fear? Our life is divinely unfolding. And if for truth you have to sacrifice yourself or a part of your life, do it. This is a precious, beautiful life. And the more we go into the source of our spirit, and the more we rest in God and rest in the light of our own being, which is the divine source, the easier it is to walk out in the world. How was it, as we talked in the last video, that so many of the saints could walk amongst plagues and cholera and incredible diseases, and nothing touched them because they were so filled with light. The vibration was so high, and the vibration of love was emanating from every atom of their being. This is what we're being asked right now. And I feel today is a day of great transformation, of profound opportunity to turn the tide. I feel it within. I feel something shifted. Let's climb on the boat of that shift. Think about think of a great ocean liner when it's going to shift its course. What does it do? It's going along at a certain speed, and it slows down, slows down, slows down, slows down to almost a stop, and then it makes its turn in a completely different direction. I feel this is what's happening for mankind right now. We're being forced to slow down, to suck back inward, like that wave of the ocean. When you come back, the wave of the ocean sucks back and back and back and back unto itself. And we are all drops in that ocean. And before it comes to crest high again and crash forward into a new expression of being, it has to still suck back. And we've been in this sucking back period. But I feel we're turning. I feel by mid-April that we will have turned a corner. We will have shifted. We will have moved into another state of being. Let me just do a card for what's coming for us over the next month. For all of mankind. Our Lady of Truth. This is number 17. And this card in Tarot, number 17, is the star. It's the card of divine inspiration. And I'm just going to read what her meaning is, because I don't know what it is here. Our Lady of Truth. When you choose to be in your truth, expressing and being who you are with me. This is the Holy Mother speaking. In those moments, your voice and every action rings true like a bell, sending out waves of sound that cuts through what's no longer serving you. So if you think of sound, it's a vibration. Well, you're moving into this higher vibration. So everything that's no longer serving you right now is being cleansed from you, is being cut from you. It's like I was looking at a card today for one of my children, and I saw the butterfly on the card and realized that the caterpillar had been cut away. The shell of the chrysalis had been broken away, and here was this beautiful butterfly emerging. This is us right now. We are literally in a chrysalis right now, an enforced chrysalis for our own transmutation, our own change of being. We can't go on as we were before. It wasn't working. It was destroying the earth. It was creating so much angst and unrest and nastiness and living is so much in fear. We can't do that anymore. We're spiritual beings. We need to lift our hearts up and abide in God. Think of resting in God. Think of resting in the vibration of God. Doesn't that feel good? Your world is changing, triggered by transformations already happening within you. Look at how true this card is. As you grow spiritually, it's the only growth we want is spiritual growth. That's what we came here for. The change that is happening is a raising of your energetic frequency, just what we were talking about. You may find you just can't stand some things which once you used to like or love. You can't fit into that old life in the same way. And yet the new life is not quite fully anchored yet. That's like the caterpillar, right? When the caterpillar grows into the butterfly, it's feeling to press out and break through that chrysalis. That's where we are right now. We want to break through where we are. You need some divine rocket fuel to launch you into the new vibration more fully, to allow yourself to live externally exactly what it is that you have become internally. You are bringing your inner world fully and completely into the outer world. And this is a time when the worlds are colliding. Old truths must give way to new truths. Oh my God, how true is that? How true is that? The worlds are colliding. And what are those worlds? They're the worlds of the old belief systems compared to the divine, transformative, majestic expression of the inner world, the butterfly. So here's what you say. Mother Mary, Our Lady of Truth, let your light of truth shine within my heart. May I know and live my own truths with kindness, compassion, and courage. So these are the 3 traits we need to examine ourselves for each day. Am I showing enough kindness? Am I showing enough compassion to everyone? And I mean everyone. We need to stop all these nasty posts and shares. What is that doing to lift the vibration? How is that helping anything? And courage. We need to show courage, true grit. Put our shoulders back, lift our head up, and walk out into the world. However we need to protect ourselves right now, we'll walk in the world with a high vibration of light so that wherever we walk, we're bringing the healing vibration of love. This will help everyone, including keeping you healthy and strong. May each one of us be supported in doing so, so we may live and let live without fear. May the light of your perfect justice shine bright for the greatest good, so be it. I love that. Isn't that magnificent? Throw that fear out the window. You're safe. No matter what happens to your body, to your physical form, as my girl said to me the other day, Mama, we ride a tandem bicycle. The only thing is you can't see me when I'm pedaling behind you, but I'm pushing that bicycle forward just as much as you are. And that's the light of spirit. Let spirit sustain you. Rest in the light of God. I love you all so much, and I'm sending all of you tremendous healing energy and love. It's fine. Be still and know that within you resides God. Go now and rest in God. Thank you.